Boom, 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 boom. What's going on? Excuse me. This thing right here ain't no spirit. It's some tea. Get your blood flowing right. Also, clear out the mucus. Get your body right. Let me see. It's late night, early morning status, and after 4th of July, and just a lot of things been going on, especially since 4th of July. Um, the title of this live is Your Worst Enemy is. What's your worst? I should have titled it, What's Your Worst Enemy? Should I change it? Let me see. No, I ain't gonna change it right now. Probably change it later. But basically, the title is Your Worst Enemy is. And sometimes we go within life and we think that our worst enemy is people that's out there, and it tends to be the worst enemy is within, and the mindset blockage that we have ourselves going through, and it can cause a reaction where um how we react to other people's mood or how other people react, um our idea of their reaction can make them the enemy. um I should have wrote down what I was going to write down, but I hope that kind of makes sense. I had the thought out proper earlier. So basically, within ourselves, within our mind, we're creating our own enemies, and we're making ourselves our own enemies, where our behavior, our psychology to others will make them enemies because of what we see within them. It's just some stuff I was reading, but so basically, though, my opinion on stuff like that is we have a lot of enemy, we have a lot of characteristics within ourselves that makes us um, enemies within ourselves, which is holding us back because subconsciously we're creating an enemy within the blockage, such as like procrastinating. Procrastinating could be a big blockage, big mindset blockage within our thoughts that's holding us back. Lack of communication, or being able to communicate with others could be part of the enemy. And when we don't know what's going on within ourselves, we can see others as our enemy. And those enemies can then become real enemies, and it could be causing other effects like even 4th of July, there was a lot of mass shooting going on because of people seeing one another as enemies, random shootings, um, mass shootings, shootings over emotions. But what's the real enemy? The real enemy is within the mindset within, and how you're conducting yourself and how you're reacting to the thoughts, emotions of your subconscious. You have to have control of your thoughts, because if not, then you will see the enemy that's in you, but you'll see it in other people. So, like I said, for example, um, maybe you're not having a good day. Your mood is the wrong way, but since your mood is the wrong way, you might interact with somebody else's whose mood is also the wrong way, and the emotions can rub off the wrong way, and that can lead to some interaction that could have been avoided. And you can see it a lot of times in the news. You see where people come and interacting with one another because they're not even really enemies, but to where their mood and their emotion is, it makes one another become enemies and retaliate against each other. And these people sometimes end up shooting one another, stabbing one another, all type of things because of how the mindset is. And the enemy within, you're seeing that enemy within other people, and the way your emotions and the mood is, it can rub off the bad way. I just want to come on here and talk about this stuff because you cannot just see a person as an enemy because you're also an enemy within yourself. Your thoughts, your controlling your emotions, your actions can um can avoid a lot of things because you of awareness. So if you're aware of your thoughts, your mood, um, how you conduct yourself, your reactions to certain situations, a lot of situations can be avoided. So, like I'm saying, going back to who is the enemy? What is the enemy? Um, your enemy is who's your enemy? Like, so we got to dig in deep because sometimes just the enemy within is creating that enemy, like I said. So we got to be able to overcome those hurdles, those obstacles, and be able to find out what the true enemy is. Who is the true enemy? Um, so what's your thoughts? Let me see. What's your thoughts on this? I don't even know if I enabled the comment because right now in the comment I don't even see it. Okay, thank you, Mr. Purple VR. What's going on? What that mean, Mr. Purple VR? You in a virtual reality thing? Is like, 'cause that's another big business that's gonna be popping off right now. And that's another thing. A lot of people, um, the way the way the enemies is creating out there, and we have good enemies that can help us out, but the bad enemies that's being created out there, it's going to be forced that the government is not going to be liking how people are reacting to one another and how people are treating one another and how mental health is affecting people, where people on holidays is shooting up one another and killing one another. We're supposed to be celebrating the holidays, but in terms now in the big cities and a lot of the areas, we're seeing where it's mass shootings or it's one-on-one shooting or it's isolated shootings or shootings over emotions or shooting over thoughts or different things like that. The government is going to be starting to force people to be back inside, and it's not just going to be on some pandemic. Well, it might be on another pandemic thing where it's going to be end up forcing people back inside, and people are going to have to end up living in a virtual world. Um, Meaning that you're going to be having things get delivered to you with drones. You're going to be living in a virtual world. You're going to be ordering your things offline within the virtual world. Um, a lot of restaurants are shutting down. A lot of retail is shutting down. Um, a lot of what's that called? What they call that? When they stealing stuff. That whole bunch of stealing. When they go into these department stores and they stealing a whole bunch of stuff like a fast stealing, all that stuff that's being allowed, the government end up going to be forcing people to be going back inside. And we got to look out for these projects that's coming out because the projects that's coming out, our enemy within, and we not being aware of what's going on, is going to be creating a lot of enemies outside without not what's not going on because we're not aware of our thoughts. So then our emotions is going to create more enemies for ourselves within what's going on. So yeah, what's going on, Mr. Purple VR? Yeah, what are you doing? Man, I'm just here, just doing a live, man, just basically talking about who is the enemy and the true enemy. Is it could be within our mind and the subconscious because of how our thoughts is and us not being aware of our thoughts. So then our thoughts and emotions can end up creating other enemies without um, understanding our awareness. And the way we thinking can create enemies that's not even needed. What I'm saying, like I said earlier, in the beginning of life is your emotions, your mood, your mode can rub off bad with somebody else's emotions, mood, or mode. And then that reaction can lead to something that's not necessary. Like I said, it could be shootings, it could be stabbings, could be fighting, could be not communicating with one another. So I'm just here talking about things like that, getting some things off my mind. Foggy City Day, boosting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, Yeah, so a lot, but other than the boosting, like even you see in New York, they doing this like mass people just grabbing and dashing like mad items, and it's creating um like so you watching it on the TV, and now you're starting to see these things going on. You're starting to have thoughts of other people out there being your enemy, but they're not really your enemy, but it's the way that your thought process is and the way that society is going. Um, yeah, somebody said something crazy. Let me see what they said. I don't even know what that means, so I'm gonna hide it. Um, Thank you for support. I didn't even say who I'm supporting. I'm not a Democratic or Republican. I'm not even. I basically, well, I guess you could say I'm independent, but um, I'm not gonna get into politics right now. Thank you, though, Mr. Warhammer. I'm not gonna get into politics right now. But you did say some some interesting comment right there. Interesting comment. Uh, I love God and I love that day where you. Oh man, uh, I ain't saying who I'm supporting, but the ideology of these different politicians. I mean, they both running neck and neck right now, and even if whoever wins, you're still gonna need the next one for this country to float anyway. So if Republicans win, the Democrats gonna need the Republicans to have this country float. If the Democrats win, the Democrats gonna need the Republicans to still have this country to float because that's why it's a balance. It's that check and balance type situation. So in a way, it doesn't really matter who wins because everybody is working together within this country or whatever you want to call it. I can't get into all that stuff right now. So basically, I just came on here to talk about your enemy is and who is your enemy, and that we can avoid a lot of things and a lot of people being our enemies because of how we're thinking and our mindsets and our emotions and how we can control it. So, with that said, see if anybody else want to have any more comments. No more comments. I'm about to get off of here. Got some more work to do, doing some research. Anybody out there that's like hit like thinking about the economy and trying to get ways of getting over the economy and trying to offset the way of the economy like in terms of inflation and coming up with extra money because like I don't it's serious. I went to the grocery store the other day and usually that grocery probably would have been like I say 60, $70. Now it's like $110. So I want to talk about different ways of supplementing your income. So I've been doing a lot of research. I mean, a lot of research, like hours and hours of research. Because the one thing is that I want to talk about how we can start developing. One thing would be the $1,000 emergency fund put aside into a high yield savings account. Two, I want to start talking about how we can build up extra cash flow in order to eliminate debt and get rid of some of our debt. And three, also, I want to talk about different ways of building up where we can have our emergency fund, which emergency fund would cover 3 months of income. I mean, like expensive. So you got your rent or mortgage, utility bills, car insurance, car payments, whichever like that. Your whole bills 3 months of that stacked up. In addition to start stockpiling on water, um, food, not as much as food, but the necessity that you would need. Just a wide variety of things that's going to be coming up for the next, well, we got 6 months. We got the election, 4 months, 6 months. Then we got 2025. We got a lot of things going to be happening. We got debt ceiling crisis that's not being talked about. Um, So I don't even know what's the title of this live again? Because I'm getting sidetracked now. I'm tired. Somebody put if you on here and you remember the type the title that I put in here. What was the title? It was some enemy, your enemy. Oh, your enemy is, yeah. So who's your enemy? Or your enemy is. So um we're gonna start have to being aware of what's going on. So we're gonna just a regular 9 to 5 is not cutting it anymore. We definitely have to have different ways to supplement your income. Even if that means have to get involved with the gig economy. Gig economy means like driving Uber, Uber Lyft, delivery, Instacart. What else in the gig economy? What else in the gig economy? Gig economy, Instacart, Uber Eats, different things like that. Because we're gonna start. It's gonna get to the point where we're gonna think that we have a lot of enemies out there. Um, our mind is gonna be functioning where it's gonna be back to like how it was um during the pandemic time, where people's gonna start looking at one another as enemies, and um, it's gonna be kind of scary because of is this the word multitude? The multitude of different changes that's gonna be coming from different angles, and this is not just politics. Not just politics. It's gonna be from policies from the Democrats as well as the Republicans, and the dynamics of the new population that we're seeing. So therefore, even the diversity agenda of trying to be diverse, it's not really going to be that way anymore, because we're going to start to see more people as our enemy. It's not going to be good because, like I said, the enemy is going to be basically the thoughts within, the thoughts, emotions, and mood mode that's creating in our mind, because we're not aware what's going on, because of the things that we're getting fed through the media, through social media, through the news, through a variety of things. So once again, this AD, hope you got some value out of this. Like I said, I'm going to be coming on here doing some more lives, different topics. I'm going to be talking about different ways of generating extra cash flow to offset some of the debt, budgeting, and these things that I'm learning, some things that I've been through, hurdles that I had to get over with, being self-awareness, having idea for your emotional intellect, being able to communicate more with others within your relationship, and not seeing people as your enemy, but understand that there's probably an enemy within you that you're seeing in others. So then that creates more of an enemy mood, mode, emotion, reaction to others. Um, like I said, man, just be careful out there. A lot of things gonna be going on. A lot of dynamics of attitude, emotions, different thoughts, seeing people as enemies, seeing people as people that's holding you back, seeing people as what they call that. I forgot the word. But just be aware, and also be aware of people with their mental health. So it's gonna be a lot of things. Like I said, the dynamics of the population is gonna be changing up. The economy is gonna be changing up. People's mental health is going to be changing up. People's financial situation is going to be changing up. People's relations is going to be changing up. So it's going to be a backlash of a wide variety of things where people are going to be seeing people as their enemy, but really it's not going to be enemy, but it's the thoughts within your mind, and you're not being aware of what's going on, or being self-aware of your emotions, your mood, your mode, and your actions. So once again, it's AD. Keep looking forward to some more videos. Like I said, I'm going to be doing some videos of how we can earn some extra cash, like instant cash. Like, because the reason why I'm doing this is because I recently basically, like, I had emergency fund, and a lot of it had to get tapped into because of some things that come up. Had car had to get fixed, bills had to get paid, um, taxes had to get paid, so a wide variety of things. So I'm going to be coming on here also talking about different ways of how you can get money instantly. Like one of these free apps that I'm talking about is going to be free cash, and it's going to be paying out like crazy because it gives you a different wide variety of ways of generating cash flow through it. So one thing of getting over having enemies and who is your enemy is going to be having cash flow, having access to assets, and being able to control your assets and being able to protect your assets. So once again, it's AD. Hope you got some value out of this. Let me see. What else they said? Thank you for supporting. Boom, boom, boom. I love God. I love that you say you support. But a boom, boom, boom. You understand? We're way better. Yeah, we are better under. Yeah, that's debatable. We might have to come back on another live to talk about that because, yeah, it's debatable. People, who's going to be voting for Trump or Biden, Democrat, Republican. But really, what we got to pay attention is the policy that's at hand right now and the policies that's in place and the policies that's going to be going through within the next few months or so leading into the elections and the policies that's going to be happening during the election, and then when 2025 come into place, the policies that's going to be like really in place that's going to be going forward, and who's going to really have control of those policies. So we got to understand the policy that's at hand right now before we can even get into all those things about election. So about to go eat me some vegetables and fruits and get my energy right. um Probably even drink some more lemon water. Blessings out to everybody that's on here. Yeah, yeah, Froggy City. Yeah, and people be boosting and stuff. Excuse me, sorry about that. And that exactly with the grab and dash things, what they're going to is also selling the stuff back online at a different price. And we I ain't doing no fearmonger thing, but just want to come on here to have people think about your self awareness within your thoughts and be able to have um, intellect and idea of your thoughts, your emotions, your mood, your mode, and how you react to your mood, your thoughts, your mode, your emotions, your thoughts, your mood, your mode, your emotions, and your thoughts, as well as when it comes to interacting with others. Once again, it's NZD. Hope y'all got some value out of this. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.